If iCloud Photos keeps filling up on you, the problem usually isn't storage. It's that Apple Photos is holding on to items you never intended to keep. Let's address a couple of assumptions. I'm assuming you're using iCloud. I'm also assuming that you have photos enabled in iCloud and that your goals are to streamline the photos you have, remove some clutter, and you don't really want to increase your storage subscription cost. However, this video is not for you if you just don't ever want to think about this and that infinite storage is always your goal. Then I would suggest you just up your subscription and move on with life. The first step you need to undertake to streamline photos in iCloud is to get rid of the junk. So you need to identify items that can be deleted and go ahead and delete them. And there's a few ways to go ahead and do this. The first way would be to undertake a manual review. Take a quick look across your file collection and look for really obvious things. Did you attend an event and took 50 pictures when 5 would actually properly document that event for you? Or do you have a bunch of temporary photos? A photo like when you were shopping for a ceiling fan and you snapped a picture of it. But 6 months later, you kind of moved on to other projects. You never even got around to buying that ceiling fan, so having it in your photo collection is just a waste of space. Built into Apple Photos are some tools that can actually help you with the process. For instance, you can look at media types. This will allow you to view only screenshots or screen recordings, selfies, live photos, panoramas. Having this kind of focus can kind of help you more quickly get through a certain type of photo so you can determine whether or not you actually need to keep them or not. Another one of the tools is utilities. Here you can take a look at things that are predetermined by the Apple software. It'll identify things like receipts, documents, images that contain handwriting, also illustrations, and several other things. The star tool in Utilities is the duplicates feature. Apple Photos can actually take a look at your collection and determine which photos are actually duplicates of each other. And they might be separated by different dates because, just mysteriously duplicates happen every now and then. What Apple Photos will do is put them side by side, and you can determine whether or not to merge them into a single photo, saving potentially a lot of space. But real quick, if you don't see duplicates in your utilities area, it either means Apple Photos still needs to analyze your collection a little more, or you don't have any duplicates. Congratulations. And one feature in Apple Photos that is commonly overlooked is the search feature. Keep in mind that you can actually search for dates and places, and Apple Intelligence is built into this feature, so it can actually help you find things like objects, text. So in your mind, if you can remember that there was an event or a set of photos that you took that you're just not going to want to keep for a long time, but you don't know when or where it is in your collection, leverage search and see if that can help you find it a little more quickly. And real quick, if you're finding value in this video, go ahead and click like. And if you like videos like this one, go ahead and click subscribe. It'll help a tiny little channel like mine grow. Now, if you still need space in iCloud, then the next step is for you. This will be to move some of your photos out of your collection and store them in a safe place. Now, before we start this, let's make a few things really clear. Remember that iCloud is not a backup service. It's more of a file synchronization service. You take a photo in one place and it will share them across all of your devices using iCloud. If you delete in your iPhone, for instance, it's going to delete it from the other devices as well. So that's that synchronization process at work. And on that note, part of exporting and archiving items out of Apple Photos is going to include deleting those items from iCloud. therefore deleting from all of your devices. And if you're doing just simple exports out of Apple Photos, you have the chance of losing photo edits that you've made on some of these images over time. Also, you will lose live photos with simple exports. I have a way around that, and we'll go over it. Okay, so how are you going to consider what items to actually remove out of your Apple Photos collection? And that's a good question. When it comes right down to it, a lot of times people are going to just pick an arbitrary date. Like after 5 years, I'm going to remove all the older files and I'll just archive them. And that is a solid strategy. One thing I'll challenge you to do is perhaps be just a tiny bit more thoughtful and choose those images that you're going to remove from your collection based on the content in them. Some examples for that sort of thing would be reference photos or project photos. These are things like photo shoots or a series of photos that you took to perhaps document a business process of some sort. While you're evaluating the items in your collection, just be very cognizant that many of the photos you're going to want to keep are important to you on an emotional level. They're mementos of specific times in your life that are important, and you might not be accessing them on a regular basis, but they're still important to keep in your overall collection. After you've determined the items that you want to remove from Apple Photos, this will be the process that you're looking at. You'll go to the place where your files are. For instance, I have these two photos that I would like to go ahead and export. So I select them under the File pull-down menu. I'm going to go to Export and Export to Photos. And you'll see that I can export them as JPEG, HEIC, TIFF, PNG. So select what you're after and go ahead and click Export. Also, I'm going to cover that these two images are actually live photos. So to export that and maintain the live photo element, you're going to get two output items. One will be a static image and the other one will be a short movie file. Head over under the File pull-down menu again. We'll hover over Export and then go to Export on Modified Originals for the two photos that we have selected. And you'll notice that we can go ahead and export these. I'm going to export it to this folder. And you now see that we have the static image file along with a short video file. Let's take a look at the static image and take a look at the short video file. This way we actually still have the short movie. It's not the same or as convenient as a live photo, but even after you export it, you can still maintain that movie in your exported collection. So I'm just going to say it again. Simple exports are going to lose important elements like photo edits that you've done over time, and also it will remove live photos. So make sure that you leverage the export unmodified original when you need to. And I can't stress it enough, just be thoughtful about what and how you export these items out of your Apple Photos collection. And now comes the scariest step in this entire process, and that is deleting the files that you've exported out of your Apple Photos collection. Now remember, when you delete them from the collection, no matter which device you do it on, it's going to remove them from all of your Apple devices and from iCloud itself. However, you do have 30 days to retrieve anything from the recently deleted folder, so you've got a little bit of a safety net there. Let's return our focus back to those exported items from our collection. Make sure you save those photos and videos in very safe places, like secondary drives, external drives, or even recordable CD media. Remember optical discs? Also, after you've stored those items in safe places, make sure that they are being backed up or that they are stored remotely. You need to have a good backup strategy to avoid catastrophe. And I know this is a whole subject in and of itself, and I've actually made video about that before, and I'll link that down in the description. Let's do a quick recap. Make sure you keep the photos in your collection that include personal history, memories, and the people that are important to you. Delete temporary informational items that are just redundant. And archive items that you can. These are the reference materials, stuff like that, that you're not going to emotionally revisit from time to time. And I truly hope this will help you maintain a smarter collection of images and videos in your iCloud Photos collection. So until next time, have fun, stay safe, and keep learning.